Well, let's speak now to Mustafa Caner in Istanbul. He's a research fellow on Iranian studies at Saqqara University Middle East Institute. Mustafa, good to have you on this news hour. Do you foresee that a change in leadership in Iran is going to affect their relations in the region at all?
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I think we are talking about two types of leadership here. The first is presidency, of course. President Ibrahim Raisi was killed in this helicopter incident 2 days ago, and there should be new elections for the country, for the presidency. And these elections will be held on June 28th. And now some names from the conservative faction are articulated in the media, in the social media. And there, I think we are going to witness a tough fight among conservative figures in Iran. So given that the Iranian political scene has been dominated by conservative faction, conservative figures, maybe since the Trump administration withdrew from the nuclear deal, because Iranians' reaction was like, these reformist policies apparently didn't work, so we have to change towards a more conservative, more hardliner stance. So after that, in 2020, there was parliamentary elections and conservatives won the elections. And 1 year after, deceased President Ibrahim Raisi was elected as the president. And this year, actually, there was another parliamentary elections and conservative faction again won the race, because the Guardianship Council didn't let any reformist or moderate person to race in these elections. So given that the Iranian political scene is colored by conservative figures, I believe that the next president will be again from a conservative faction. And now we are going to see a tough race among conservative figures like before, because we used to see this competition between conservatives and reformists or moderates. But now we are only seeing conservative figures in the Iranian political scene.
But Mustafa, how will that affect voters? Because in the last few elections, the voter turnout has been very low. What does that tell us about voters in Iran and how they feel about actually heading to the polls? Is there a sense of voter apathy there?
Yeah, many actually causes triggered that situation. For example, recurrent protests in the country. Maybe the reasons vary. Sometimes it's oil prices. Sometimes, like the last one after Mahsa Amini's death, protesters were very furious, loaded with rage against the system. So, and actually, like I said before, Guardian Council's decisions on electoral process also affected that people's disengagement from politics, their alienation from politics, political processes. So there is a distance between now Iranian public and state apparatus. They don't trust government, they don't trust state, at least half of the population, I mean, because we are clearly seeing that they don't go for voting because they don't see any prospect, any hope from election. They don't believe that elections can change anything in terms of politics. So that's why they are refraining from participating in elections. And they know that, for example, foreign policy of Iran is not determined by president or foreign minister. It is determined by supreme leader and his network of institutions. So that's why they are not going to vote.
Mustafa Caner, really appreciate your analysis. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And one person